This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. General Motors threw in the towel trying to operate Brightdrop as a standalone electric van company. It's being integrated into Chevrolet. The vans are based on the GM Ultium platform and have up to 272 miles of range. The smaller 400 version costs right around $63,000, while the 600 costs about $64,500 including cash discounts. For comparison purposes, a Ford E-Transit, which has 159 miles of range, costs $51,000. Last year, GM put Brightdrop under its commercial fleet business called Envolve, but it must have decided that allowing any Chevrolet dealership to get certified to sell the vans could help attract a lot more customers. On its website, Envolve lists 7 dealerships across the U.S. that are certified to sell the vans. Through the first half of the year, they sold 746 examples. But the CAMI plant in Ontario, Canada that makes them has the capacity to build 50,000 a year. J.D. Power came out with a survey in China that rates automakers who make new energy vehicles based on who does the best job of selling and servicing them. It's called the China New Energy Vehicle Customer Experience Value Index. Whew, that's a big mouthful. But the customers in the survey rated NIO the best of all, closely followed by Li Auto. Rounding out the top 5 are Xpeng, Zeekr, and GAC Aion. J.D. Power rated NEV foreign brands separately, and the top 5 on that list are Mercedes, followed closely by Tesla, then FAW-VW, Audi, and then Smart. It's interesting to note that overall, NIO and Li Auto did better than Mercedes and Tesla. General Motors must face a class action lawsuit that claims it violated laws in 26 states by knowingly selling vehicles with faulty transmissions. Owners say the vehicles shudder and shake at high speeds and lurch in lower gears even after repairs. And they claim that GM told dealers to tell customers that the shifts were normal. The suit covers 800,000 Cadillac, Chevrolet, and GMC vehicles equipped with 8-speed automatic transmissions from model years 2015 to 2019. GM argued that many of the claims should be resolved in arbitration and not under a class action lawsuit because many owners didn't experience the issue and that there are too many differences to justify a group lawsuit. But an appeals court rejected the automaker's argument and says it must face the suit. To help with its expansion into Europe, BYD hired Fiat-Chrysler's former head of Europe, Alfredo Altavia, as a special advisor. BYD has more models coming to the market and is planning to open plants in Hungary and Turkey. The company's sales in Europe are up 331% so far this year to more than 21,000 vehicles. And BYD says it's aiming to get to 5% market share before its plant in Hungary opens, which would translate to about 70,000 sales. The automaker's vice president says Altavia will play a big role in helping with that growth when he starts next week. Altavia began his career at Fiat, and he also worked at Iveco. In 2012, he became COO of Europe, Africa, and the Middle East at Fiat-Chrysler. But he left the group in 2018 after former CEO Sergio Marchionne's death. Speaking of new hires, Audi's head of sales is leaving the company and will be replaced by Marco Schubert, who is currently Porsche's head of European sales. Previously, he was head of sales for Audi in China, while he started his career at Mercedes. Schubert will be tasked with helping to turn around Audi's sales. It sold about 833,000 cars globally in the first half of the year, which is down 8% from a year ago. And General Motors also bolstered its management ranks. It hired another former Apple executive, Tim Twirtle, to its software division. He'll come in as vice president of product management. While at Apple, Twirtle worked on its AirPod and Apple TV products. but most recently he was the chief product officer of Juno, a sustainable design company. Twirtle will report to Bears Sedinok, who is another former Apple exec that GM hired. The head of engineering at GM Software Unit, Dave Richardson, is also a former Apple executive.
Keeping your heart racing in and out of the gym. That's what really matters. Bridgestone Potenza Sport AS tires with a 50,000-mile limited warranty.
Lexus says the design of its next-generation vehicles is so different, it will be as dramatic as when it introduced the spindle grille in 2011. Automotive News reports the styling will be inspired by the LFZC and the LFZL concepts, which should show up in production models around 2026. The brand's head of global design and chief branding officer says it's okay to ask if it goes too far and added, quote, "The whole point of the Lexus brand from the very beginning has always been to challenge what was considered the de facto standard of the time. These vehicles will also take advantage of Lexus's goal to increase body rigidity, which we talked about on Wednesday's show. One way it will do that is with gigacastings. Parent company Toyota previously revealed it would start using large rear castings, which also combine many body panels into one and clear up additional space." BYD has passed up Honda and Nissan in sales this year, and now it's expanding into another vehicle segment, minivans. The automaker revealed the Xia, spelled Xia, which is expected to hit the market later this year. It will come with a plug-in hybrid powertrain, BYD's intelligent suspension system, advanced driver assistance features, and a smart cockpit. Pricing should start around $42,000, and by getting into a new segment, BYD should grow its sales even more. Have you ever heard of someone lining their truck bed with plastic and filling it up with water as a makeshift pool? Well, a bunch of apprentices from Daimler Truck and YouTuber group The Real Life Guys put that idea on steroids. They took 3 weeks converting a semi-truck tipper into a giant bathtub that can seat up to 20 people and is still mobile. It's also tricked out with a huge shower head and a wood-burning stove. Carlos Tavares, the CEO of Stellantis, says he'll get rid of any brand that doesn't make money. So the great-grandson of Walter P. Chrysler says he'll take the Chrysler brand, thank you very much.
My vision is to save Chrysler, the brand that my great-grandfather founded in 1925. It's very important. This is American history right here, and we cannot let it go away.
Frank Rhodes is that great-grandson, and he doesn't just want the rights to the Chrysler brand. He also wants Dodge, Plymouth, and Mopar too. In fact, he wants the factories and employees that go along with them. He says he'll put together an investment group along with suppliers, dealers, and the UAW to make it happen. So, will Tavares sell? And can Frank Rhodes really put this all together? We think it's probably going to go nowhere. But what do you think? And that brings us to the end of today's show. Thanks for making Autoline a part of your day. And due to the Labor Day holiday here in the U.S., there won't be a show on Monday.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering boost your game. MEDC, where Michigan businesses are powering the future of mobility. And by Teijin Automotive Technologies, the formula for better mobility.
When we did our research for the talent that we need for this program, Michigan was really the top of the list. In order to be successful in this space, you really have to have the right people, the right mindset, the right environment.
There's nothing wrong with heavy metal.
Hey, lighten up.
But with world-class composite material, Teijin Automotive Technologies makes vehicles lighter, safer, and more eco-friendly.
Intrepid's NeoVi Pi, allowing automotive engineers to interface, capture, and monitor vehicle data using Raspberry Pi. As a matter of fact, it's the automotive industry's first robust platform for Raspberry Pi, featuring Intrepid CAN-FD technology and Raspberry Pi Compute Module. The NeoVi Pi is designed for automotive environments, allowing use with relative power ranges and applications. In addition, the NeoVi Pi enables you to use the Raspberry Pi for compute while avoiding additional development to adapt to network environments. That makes the NeoVi Pi powerful enough to solve your vehicle network problems, yet small enough to fit in your backpack. One of many Intrepid tools used for developing zonal architecture and software-defined vehicles.
Wards is the industry leader for news, data, and analysis. That's why companies across the globe subscribe to our premium service, maybe even your own. Log in for subscriber access now. Check your company's intranet for details and rely on wardsauto.com to keep you informed.